Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Ken Christo and this is the Light in the East campaign. We are the wonderful Ottoman and we are heading towards a crash course with the Hungary to the north. They've established their subjects, they've laid their independent guarantee upon Wallachia, halting our northern ambitions. Meanwhile, we have secured Greece, seized Achaia, or about to be seizing Achaia and Athens, and the time has come for us to do battle over the contested middle ground of Serbia. Right now, most of it is, of course, in the grip of them and their subject, Croatia, but we can change that. Now, I was talking in the previous episode about whether we should keep this land or whether we should give it to Macedonia, and something I didn't consider is the extent to which it could hurt our manpower if we did keep it. I think we will be able to core it. Well, but I'm looking like I'm wrong, aren't I? Well, I mean, 6 unrest, 6.9 is not that bad, especially with a bit of war exhaustion. Yeah, I think we'll be able to core it, at which point we can, excuse me, at which point we can, you know, no longer have to front all the manpower for the overextension. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Okay, so just wrapping up this war, we built at the end of the last episode our lovely new merchant guild in Bursa, which is going to really help the local urban development. Let's get a quick little transport across the way to deal with those peasant rebels that have fired down in the Peloponnese. I always call this the Peloponnese just because it's such a nice word. It's also one of the most beautiful places I've ever sailed. Starting from Athens, which is not here. It's more like here. Across here. This island is in the wrong place. Should be here, not here. Anchoring there. Then we did a great trip across here. Beautiful, beautiful place to sail. Highly recommend it if any of you have the wonderful opportunity to experience it for yourself. All right. What do we need to be doing? There's not much right now. We're still coring a bit of land out here. If and when we see opportunities with places with 50 autonomy to get that extra wealth. I think I should stop coring the inland area though, because we're only getting it down to like 55. I mean, sure, it's still declining after that, but I think we should core Idin and then call it a day and go back to tech. Getting these ones is really good because they had, you know, like no autonomy. And Chaldiki is amazing. We're going to make so much more money now. That's cool. We need to pay attention, however, to our estate's happiness because I expect that it's going to decline. I think this year their annual income, well, it's not down too much. We are conquering more land, but we'll see. Okay, good. Got that win there. That's a little worrying. The Neapolitans have showed up. I really just don't want to fight that 3-star general, so I'm quite happy to just withdraw across the Strait of Salerno, as I've been told it's called. Right, yes, monthly lag. Always, every time it doesn't merge on the monthly lag, I'm like, what's going on? Is it broken? I always overreact. Cool. Coming out here, got him there. So the last one we need to core, well, we should also do Hudavendigar because it's a local production center, but we need 53 admin for that, and then it's 80 something? 65 for that, okay. Right, God, there are really 7. Room for 7 guys there. Not many, huh? Let's head up to the border with Hungary, prepare for that fight. Now, if I peace out, is it going to cause Hungary to join a coalition? Yes, but only just. And they may not, but they may. So the question is, do we wait 2 years, at which point Hungary would no longer join the coalition, if we took this? The answer is no. If Hungary joins... Yeah, okay, we'll take it as fate. If Hungary joins the coalition, By the way, can we take a bunch of money? Oh my lord, can we? Can we get war reps too? Not quite. I'd rather have the war reps because you tend to make more money from the war reps and you don't get as much inflation. I mean, 0.01 less inflation isn't a huge deal, but still. We take it as fate. If Hungary joins the coalition, we'll focus on the Black Sea for a bit. Boom. Look at that. We have united mainland Greece. Don't worry about this bit. That's technically Greece. But we have reunited mainland Greece. What decision? A new decision? Ooh, the imperial crown. We can become an empire. We get stability increase and we get the beautiful title rank. Yes, please. We can also make a pilgrimage to Mecca, which we really don't need to do. We're not fanatic right now, so probably don't want to do that. Royal primogeniture. I really don't know why you would ever do this. Oh, no, that's not the one I thought it was. I can see why you would do this. We will definitely do that at some point. What do you have to do for this? 3 stability. One of the following must be true. Does not have the tech group. Indian, Muslim, Turkish, or enlightened Turkish. And has an admin skill, or have an admin skill of 6, or a statesman of 3. Okay. So you have to give up 2 stability. Excuse me. But you get a permanent 5% more stability and 10 absolutism. And presumably it abolishes the ability to appoint a new favourite. Which we'd probably not do much anyway, because, I mean, 40 legitimacy, you kidding? So this guy, Ishak Osmanali, you, my good child, are getting thrown in the Sea of Marmara, which is what we do with people who have less than 12 overall monarch points. So, bye-bye. Yes, it says removed from the line of succession, but don't worry about that. So now we can appoint favourite as opposed to appoint new favourite to instantly re-roll a good heir. But we don't really need to because our guy's only 32. So what's the worst that could happen? I mean, there you go. Instantly a new one. And a 5/5/2, right. But you, my good sir, are also bad. So you're getting thrown in the Sea of Marmara as well. We won't do that again for a little bit because, you know, that's crushed our prestige, which is not good. It does hurt your improved relations and all that good stuff. But... you know, still. There we go. Sorry, missed the unmute button. We will put it into with the court. Another bad heir. That's unfortunate. We really should have appointed favourite, actually, because I think you get a better than average heir when you do the appoint favourite thing. Do we want to fight Hungary at sea? Yes, is the answer. Easy question. You guys can come back around to Chaldiki. Nice, secure fort. The other fun thing about having this kind of defined European border is we're going to be able to really plan out our fort placement, which is going to be fun. We should save. It's been a while since we saved. You never know when you're going to need to roll back, fix a crash or whatever. Run that save. Let's go against Hungary. We've got the money to rally up some more men. Got 6 cavalry, 11 infantry. Should probably raise a few more infantry. We can get up to 29 force limit. That's pretty darn good. This is going to be a spicy front line. We can have 2 huge armies rolling up against them. Should be pretty devastating, honestly. I really don't think Hungary's going to be able to hold us back. We're going to go for a kind of blitz to the Danube. Oh no, that sounds like a Turkish province. Ismaili? Okay, it's not a Turkish province because we can't see it. We see pillars of smoke in surrounding provinces. Do we though? Because we don't see the province where it started. Hopefully that's a Indian plague that stays in India. But we will see. We will see. Tunisia wants to marry me. No, thank you. We have plenty of legitimacy, and we're going to appoint heirs anyway. It isn't good. This plague is as bad as most. We should be thankful it isn't worse. I still don't know where it is, though. Yeah, one thing I don't understand about EU4 after... Let me check. 5,323 hours, is how the spread of who can see what works. Because I think it's based on something to do with contact with a tech group. Like, everyone else in your tech group can see what you have seen 50 years after you've seen it. Something like that. But how does that connect to, like, other tech groups? Because if you're in the Eastern tech group, you eventually get to see the New World. Even if no one in your tech group has vision on the New World. So I don't really know how that works. We're already at our leader cap, aren't we? Yeah, so we're just going to work with this 3-shock guy. 3-shock is pretty good, but we just have to make sure that he's in all the fights. All right, claims, please. Goodness gracious, this is 37 development. They have built a city to rival Constantinople over here in the east. My lord. Ah, darn, and they have now allied Georgia, so it's going to be a harder fight than it could have been. What level 4 you got here now? 4? A 4? Oh, it's Squash Flats. Yeah, you should be mountains. Excuse me. I'm pretty sure it's, I'm pretty sure they used to be mountains. Maybe it's just in EU4. All right. As soon as these guys have raised up, the plague has come. Where? How bad is it? Oh, it reached us a severe plague. Please. Okay, well. It's tempting. It's tempting. We'd have to take a loan. But I think this is necessary. I don't know, though. Tanking the plagues early is sometimes just a good call because it lets you, it builds up immunity against them in the future. Yeah, I really don't want to take a loan to fight the plague. But it's severe plague in rural cities. So that's... this is going to hit the capital hard. It's a good thing we grew all of those... all of these new nice urban pops for the plague to come along and wipe them out. So we have the extra Diplo slot now, which means we can freely release Serbia. Serbia, there you go. And we can then use their cause for RCB. And I will declare on you. Ragusa and Pero come in. We can call in Poland now. Nice. That's really, really good news. We will go for... Oh, hang on. I believe... I learnt recently that the actual province you designate the war goal is apparently cheaper, even than others that fit within the thing. But when I say I learnt this, I was told it on Twitch, so it must be true. You wouldn't lie to me, would you, Twitch chat? So we're going to go with Zalitibor as the goal. And Poland, please come help. Do it. Let's watch the calls come in. Okay. Right, and I forgot they have a lot of subjects because they have Lithuania that we can't see, and Volonia, something like that, and Bryansk and Kiev. So we have a good numbers advantage in this fight. Sorry, Hungary. Looks like Poland's going for the stab in the back. Go marching in. Marvelous. Do. The ch is like China. Heilich Valonia. Heilich Valonia. It's really hard to just say the first bit of China. Ch. Heilich at the end, like saying ch at the end of a word. Heilich Valonia. Volinia. Sorry. Heilich Volinia. Something like that. Something not very like that, but close enough that that's good enough. All right, Wooded Highlands. We're going to march straight in and try and seize both this and the Belgrade Fort in short order before they have a chance to muster their levies and respond. And Actually, in a rare twist, we're going to strongly encourage looting. And I'm going to burn down Hungary in this war, because I never want them to be a threat ever again. And this won't totally remove them as a threat, but it will seriously, seriously damage them in the long term. And yes, we're going to own all this land eventually ourselves, but for now, it's a communication efficiency nightmare. We have no interest in holding it. Loot, burn, smash, destroy. We have a decision. We can appropriate church property because we're, I guess, very slightly technically losing, which we will always do when we get the option, even if we're trying to increase church influence overall. Because you get beautiful, beautiful stability points, which we're going to need because there's a plague ravaging us. Oh, nice. Look at this. It was severe, 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 but then it actually got to us as only moderate. Nice. We have got some severe, but in the key core cities, it's moderate. Izmit is getting hit a little bit harder, but Izmit has been a little bit passed over in urban development recently, so it's less bad that it's more severe there. Keep these guys advancing in. Send a few more in there so they can hold out against an initial attack. And see what we can do to catch out this Ragusan army. Really do with a general down here to fight this, obviously. There goes 5% of the population. You better not lose me stability on 5%. Phew, okay. Losing the manpower real hurts, though. Hurts real bad, rather. I bet I can scare off the Croatian 2000 and then kill them. Yep. There they go. Nice. Love to play the AI like a freaking fiddle. Concessions from the church, we will of course accept this offering. No marriage with the Mamluks. We don't want it, we don't need it. Hello. Not smart man, Croatia. Nation, I guess. Not really gendered nations. Now I think about it. But they're not smart, whatever they are. Alright, we'll grab them. And we'll go siege Belgrade. Where's my other cannon? Is he down here? Yeah. We'll send him north. Hey, cannon boy. Get to Belgrade. Nice. Oh, less nice. Okay. There's their army. Everyone rally to Belgrade. And you guys can just fall back. If we can fight them in the mountains. There goes 10%. I really hope we don't get 15. I mean, this is a really bad time to lose a whole bunch of manpower. Oh, okay, and it spent the manpower before you click the button now, so you can't cheat it anymore. Which is pretty funny. We really needed a fort in Albania to stop this kind of silliness, but what's done is done. We'll pursue them south. Hopefully not taking a fight here. Oh! Looks like they're going to let us get away. Probably because they're scared of this blob in Belgrade. We'd need 3, right? Yeah. Yeah, we got a pretty good stack there in Belgrade. Let's hope we can wipe these 6 before they can rally up with this lot. The problem is that the huge Polish forces are going to be a really long time coming. I'm hopeful that once these forts fall, they're going to come round and through, but they'll probably go north and hit it from the top. Let's take this because every little bit counts right now, and we need the extra oomph, and we'll core that just so I don't forget. And the other one was Hudavendigar, yeah. Hudavendigar I need 57 for right now. Okay, okay. Looks like we're going to catch at least the Ragusans. Okay. Should be able to get in here. Really could do with a 3rd cannon, to be honest. We should probably get a 3rd cannon for the ability to blow down level 2 and 3 fort walls with barrages. We're going to catch them? Yes. Okay, we caught the 4,000 at least, even if we the Croatians look like they're set to get away. And here comes some Serbians. Let's get attach set on some of these guys. 3,000 Serbian units is honestly impressive. I mean, look at this. They've got a piddling little... Oh, okay, it's 10. Okay, this is more urbanized than I thought. That's kind of fair. That plague was honestly a lot less bad than it could have been, considering we took absolutely no plague measures to avoid problems. Don't attach to that army. And both, all of you, go on cooperative. And Serbia, I would like your trade power as well. Alright, there's one stack wipe. This is the one I need you to merge with. I'm hoping we can get the Siege of Belgrade done, and then basically once we start going south, these guys will discover they're suddenly trapped in here, basically. Appropriated church land, we will obviously grant the deeds to loyal nobles. And let's marry Tunisia. Take the legitimacy hit from that. And then auction the land off. Nice, back up to 2 stability, keeping things nice and secure for us. Those guys are locked in here. I'm going to take the fight, even though we're going into wooded hills. Because I think we can probably still wipe them real quick. We took more casualties than I'd like, but we did manage to wipe 3,000 more of them. Hungarians still heading north. Yeah, with 4,000 cannons? Excuse me? That seems poor, Hungary. That seems real poor. I would not turn that army around if I were you. I would go far, far away from here with your terrible army composition. A 2-1-4. That will be a delight to meet in the field. And we shall meet it. Unfortunately, the Serbians being intercepted. Are they at least going to be the defender? They are. Nice. In mountains. There's a good chance. Look at that. Cannons on the front row right at the beginning. Although we, in fairness, we also got bad tactics. We have too many cavalry. But it's a pretty good fight. Sent packing. 1,000 dead cannons is going to be expensive to reinforce. 1,000 men coming here. Easy kill, even with bad tactics. And we got the reinforcement tick. We might get to this Serbian fight in time. And these guys are just dilly-dallying around, getting confused by this big siege stack, I think. Come on, come on, come on. Can we how long till we get there? Oh, we got there just in time. Look at that thing of beauty. We still have the manpower. The plague has pretty much fully spread, so we're not going to lose many more men to it. Many more manpower, that is to say. Okay, and where's this? Oh, I didn't realize that was a war dynamism target. Is this? No, that would have been even more ridiculous. I think it used to be that you could get war dynamism on all of Hungary, which is a little insane. But yeah, I'll take that if you're offering it. We're obviously taking some serious attrition, sieging with a huge stack, but it's just required with the size of the enemy armies that they're rocking around with. We've got war dynamism on these. We actually do have war dynamism on all of these as well. So on the ones that aren't Serbian cores, so just this one, and well, and this one if we get it there, I'll take the war dynamism on those two. Since we'd have to play Diplo points for them in the peace deal anyway. And there is the mission, conquering Macedonia, which gives us a claim on the central Balkan region, which is this bit here. Which obviously this war plus one war with Raskia will have nicely under our grip. And of course, southern Greece is done. Give me a 300 admin. Wonderful. We will core Hudavendigar. Down to 15 autonomy immediately. Very nice. Tempted to core this one as well. Yeah, keep the internal borders nice. Looking good. And then the question is, do we do this one? It's really annoying that you can't see what it is under the 50, if you see what I mean. I think we're not going to do that. I think we're done coring for now. We're going to go back to tech and then ideas. We should really try and focus on getting the tech done before banking. Sorry, not banking. Renaissance spawns. But no, that's fine. We got years for that. 22 years to be more precise. Okay, those guys are coming south, so let's just flee again. Get your stack wipe, flee. Get your stack wipe, flee. There's no point hanging around. So Mangia, which is that one, which I will decline, because we're going to get that one given to Serbia for like no war score and literally no aggressive expansion. That's the peace deal we want. Returning cause gives no aggressive expansion, so that should be good. It's only 11 war score. We might go further. Like, what if we took this? Oh yeah, we also need that. But we can probably get that from dynamism. This is going to put Hungary in by 56. Our relations with Hungary improve on aggressive expansion by 2.5 per year. So if we can get a full 100% peace deal, that gives us a 15% truce. 15 times 2.5 is 37.5. So we can take 37.5 aggressive expansion over the limit and expect it to be gone by the time Hungary no longer has a truce with us if we take a full 100% from them. You follow all that? Good. In that case, we'll probably take this coast. Maybe even this, because this is Orthodox land over here. It gives them 88. What did I say we could go over? 37.5. So exactly one aggressive expansion less than this, which we will achieve if we get war dynamism on this province. Amazing. Look at that. Nice peace deal. We'll probably give this to Serbia, since it's so far north. Does Z no longer work as a keyboard shortcut for this, or is that just because that was an old? This is from that. Is that from a newer patch? We'll give that to Serbia just for the borders. Foreign quarter. Okay, it looks like maybe it's time for Izmir's. Was that here or here? Where was that? Is Izmir somewhere else? Yeah, maybe it's time for the urbanization down here. Now we've got another thriving merchant community rather than the one up in Bursa. What could we build down here right away? Yeah, warehouse could be good. How are we doing population to... yeah, I mean, obviously it's gone down a bunch, but this is for the first 40. We could work towards a corporation guild down here. I like using these modifiers to kind of guide our urban expansion. It's fun. Adds a bit of flavour to the whole proceedings. Oh, we might get you in the hills here. Come on, come on, come on. Fall. Fall. Belgrade, I believe. I believe. Ah! I believed a lie. A cruel lie. We are maintaining a state of gentle religious conversion right now. Slowly bringing people into the fold, but not pushing it. Rasnia, we are not willing to take. No, they're locked already. Don't you lock on the monthly take. No, good. Alright, they're locked here now, so we should be able to get 2 of them, and these 5 won't dare reinforce. Well, 1 of them still. There goes Belgrade, but too late, that guy's gone. Let's siege much more gently in the south now. Just kind of presenting a united front and trying to siege with smaller armies to take less attrition. But we do need to try and get this siege finished. Because ideally we want them to spend their strength fighting spend their strength fighting Poland rather than us. And given that they're going to fight Poland, let's get some quick little carpet sieging done. What's the one to accept? There's one X. Okay. So one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. Good. Military leader has left us. Okay, well that's probably good news until we get have a new naval war we need an admiral for. We might get another general. Or at least we can know that we're able to roll another general, given that we now have that slot freed up by the admiral. What time is it, by the way? Jesus Christ, it's midnight. Sorry, I'm coughing. Excuse me. Apparently, I was so blown away by the fact that it's already midnight. It actually made me choke on my water. That's ridiculous. How is it already midnight? That seems absurd to me. I didn't realise it was even close to that late. I haven't streamed till midnight for ages. Makes me feel good. I missed streaming. It's really good fun. And you know, recording, but I've done more recording lately than streaming. Oh, Jesus. I didn't realise we were going to get a 19,000 revolt stack. That's a little problematic. Can't they just walk into these Hungarians? How much progress we made on this siege? Just 2 pips? In that case, we may... yeah, let's abandon this siege and deal with that revolt before it causes damage to Chaldiki, because it's a big city. Monetary reforms. We lose 1 inflation, or we gain 3 inflation. Well, inflation is a trending equilibrium, so I really don't mind gaining 3. Excuse me. It should. Well, I'll give it the monthly tick. It should start trending down. What's the loot pool at? Should be pretty good, right? Because we're being a bit brutal with the loot. Oh baby, 700 ducats so far. Pretty nice. Nice. Caught them in bad terrain there. Very nice indeed. Let's have everyone rally down here, and then we'll deal with this rebellion, and then we can turn our attention back to Hungary. Are we getting war dynamism here? We are. Good. You guys make sure they don't relieve that siege and slow down the war dynamism timer. That's a pretty nice looking loot pool, have to say. And yes, if they can just fight each other back and forth across the Polish-Hungarian border, that is perfect. What? How did you get so much progress so quickly? No! Come on, we need to stop them from taking the siege. So I'm gonna charge straight in, even though I'd like to wait for reinforcements. I really don't want them to. Ah, nice, that's an easy win. I really didn't want them to damage the province, because the local wealth here is substantial, and being looted by rebels does damage that, and can destroy buildings too. Even more importantly, can destroy buildings. Yes, looting can cause damage, as the Hungarians are currently finding out. Is this level 1? Yeah, you guys can go and siege that then. Bum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum bum. Cool. How do I... should be able to catch him. Heading down to the south. Got a nice stack. What do you think of how broken Leviathan is? I think Leviathan is broken. There's not much more to say, is there? It's currently broken. In a couple of weeks, it'll be less broken, and then I'll try it out. All right, give me that tech for the better ships. All right, this guy's coming in here. One thing on the Leviathan stuff that's kind of interesting is that lots of people are complaining that the dev in Australia is too high, and they're basing their complaint on the native level of development versus the amount of development that's been given in the game, which to me just seems to ignore the fact that development in like uncolonized land is mostly designed. I mean, there's difference if you're talking about development in native owned land, but development in uncolonized land is designed to represent the capacity of the land to be exploited by a colonizer. So it makes sense that there would be some areas in Australia that had more development than, say, a province in Serbia, if that area, once colonized, could generate revenues or, whatever, manpower, etc., greater than an area in Serbia, for example. So that's one of the complaints I don't really understand. But yeah, all just like natives can end up with like hundreds of development capitals, which is obviously absurd. I don't think anyone is contesting that is ridiculous. At least not vocally. I don't get why they have playtested it beforehand. Do you mean why they haven't playtested it beforehand? They will have. I've talked about this a bit on Reddit. The problem in development is very, very rarely. It sometimes is, but it's rarely knowing what the bugs are. Many of the bugs are usually known. The problem is that you introduce a bug too late in development to fix it. So if let's say you have 10 bugs on your list, right? You've done extensive testing and you found 10 bugs, and you fix, 10 bugs, and then, it's getting close to release, and you realize that in fixing those 10 bugs, you've introduced another 6, and you now don't have time before release to fix 6 bugs, especially not because as you fix those 6 bugs, you introduce a bunch more, because the bugs can be, not literally, but kind of fractal. You discover that fixing one bug necessarily creates another bug and things like that. It's not a matter of being able to find the problems with code a lot of the time. Sometimes it is, and it often is, but a lot of the time it has nothing to do with that. It's much to do with it. It's not that every time you remove a bug you create a new one. It's that sometimes when you remove a bug you create a new one. And if you can do the very best testing you ever want when you're working with like the spaghetti code that is EU4 after 8 years of DLC, many of which coded entirely independent of each other, with their code kind of not really interacting because it has to try and work on whichever combination of DLC the user has. It creates, it creates an environment that's very, very, very difficult to bug fix in, because so many of the bugs are kind of codependent, if that's the right word. Nice, that is one that we want, because that's one of the Serbian mission provinces. And to be clear, this isn't this doesn't excuse Paradox. It's not like because this is difficult, it's acceptable or even particularly understandable to release a DLC in the kind of broken state. What it means is that there will by necessity be a very frequent case where you are forced to delay a DLC, because it might be that relatively shortly before release you fix a bug that introduces a whole bunch of other ones, and there's no way to kind of undo your bug fix because it was necessary, but in fixing it you've elucidated other problems you have elsewhere. That doesn't excuse it, that just means Paradox should, and it's extremely difficult to do this. I'm not saying like just do this and you'll fix the problem, but I think Paradox should adopt a policy of more flexible release dates. And flexible release dates are marketing, not Paradox marketing, just marketing departments in general detest flexible release dates, because it's far, far, far harder to plan a marketing campaign in order to promote a moving target, which is totally fair. I mean, that's obviously a legitimate concern, but it's also hard to plan a marketing campaign for a broken DLC. Can relate? Yes, I'm sure you can. It's a toss-up. You have to, in my opinion, I think Paradox might be better served by beginning to trying to focus on ways to communicate more frequent delays in order to facilitate giving the amount of time that would be required to have DLCs release in better states. But it's worth also remembering, it's something I've talked to Adaway about, the quality of some of the recent EU4 DLCs on release has been unfairly applied to all Paradox brands. Whereas HOI releases lately, while not necessarily what people have wanted in all ways, and ironically a lot of the best stuff has come in the free patches, which doesn't do wonders for the reviews on the DLC. But there's been nothing in the HOI releases even close to the scale of the bugs that we see in EU4, which makes sense because HOI is built in it's much more modern code base, and it's a much smaller code base, and it's a much less kind of interdependent code base. But people act like Paradox is kind of one big block of devs, all behaving the same way, and all kind of releasing, and it's not necessarily devs releasing content, it's more complicated than that, and all kind of being in stuff together and acting the same way, and one of them doing badly is then used to tar everyone, which, obviously isn't the case if you examine it critically. Who was that offering peace? Padua. I haven't even done anything to you. Maybe they were demanding from me. Let's go blockade them and see if we can piece them out. But yeah, that's my ramble. I don't think any of that is particularly controversial. I mean, and I want to be clear, I'm not saying it's remotely a quick fix for Paradox to just delay stuff more. You know, even if you do delay something, it can still be very challenging to get the resources together. But I think, apart from anything else, from an employee well-being perspective, having a day one patch having a day one patch because you've been working on the fixes for 3 weeks since your code lock-in or whatever is good. But having a day one patch because of let's hypothetically, let's say they really didn't know about some of the game-breaking bugs, like if you hover over a particular reform, a native reform that the natives aren't supposed to have access to but are. If they ever take it, the game crashes, and if you hover over it, the game crashes. Like bugs like that. Let's hypothetically say they didn't know about that before release. If that's true, it's. I mean, like I don't believe it's true because that's like trivial to test. It's one of the things that you would do is play a native and take all of the reforms. It's a patch that focused on natives, and reforms are one of the areas that are prone to cause crashes. So that would be, in my opinion, and I don't know, I have no inside knowledge on this, but in my opinion, that would be high on the testing list. But let's say you discovered that after release, if you're fixing that bug on day one, it's not really possible that you're doing that without creating a pretty nasty working situation for the devs, because they're going to have code review, fixing, review of the fix, testing to see the fix didn't cause any other problems, and you're going to have to turn that around in 24 hours. That would, I don't want to work in that environment. Some people might like the fast-paced, all that kind of stuff. But that to me sounds terrible. And so I hope that isn't the case. And I would much rather have delays than buy a product that was being developed in that way, personally. But the thing about delays is that people get really mad when Paradox releases broken stuff because they view it as kind of false advertising and scammy, which is not. I don't totally disagree with that. I don't think it's really scammy because I don't know. I don't think they put in the marketing blurb like not broken. So technically, I think they're all right, but it's obviously not great. But you can just not play it for a month. Like, it's totally in your power. MEIOU and Taxes exists even when Paradox has just released an EU4 DLC. So you can just play MEIOU and Taxes for a month. It obviously is less kind of hype if you do that. You end up with a slightly more solitary experience of first experiencing the DLC. But you can just do what I basically always do, which is I check out DLCs before release, because I'm lucky enough to usually get preview codes, and I decide if I want to play them properly. And then if I want to play them properly, I play them after 1 or 2 patches. And you get a very good experience that way, because you get it post all of the bug fix patches. And yes, they should apply those bug fix patches before release. They should delay however long it takes to get those bug fix patches. I can speak good, I swear. They should delay as long as it takes to get those bug fix patches in. But given that they don't at the moment, just don't play until they're done. And if you don't buy the DLCs until the bug fix patches are in, and if enough people do that, I freaking guarantee you they will start being in before release. Because that's the way you'd actually make an impact on Paradox's behavior. You affect the day one sales. Because if you're not familiar, the problem for Paradox, if people delay when they start playing a game, is that day one sales, which is almost always going to be the highest number of sales on any particular day, drives a huge amount of algorithmic promotion of the game, as well as lots of people looking for it on YouTube, which drives algorithmic promotion of it on YouTube, lots of people Googling for it, lots of people talking about it on Reddit, all these kind of things. The more concentrated people's beginning to play a DLC is, the better the DLC will perform analytically. And obviously the better it performs analytically in terms of SEO, in terms of Reddit posts, all that, the more money Paradox is going to make from it. So if people start delaying when they play until they feel like it's ready to be played, which obviously they will disagree about, which means there won't be this kind of moment where it started, then you can actually impact them that way. You can actually influence Paradox's decision making by making your opinion show up in their analytics. And I'm not saying like embargo Paradox. You can if you want to, but I'm not saying do that. I'm saying that by far the best way to affect change in the quality of Paradox's releases is to not buy them until they have been fixed, ever, and never pre-order them. I mean, you should never pre-order anything ever, anyway. But it's by far the most effective way to affect change. It's by far the most effective way to affect change with basically any consumer product. Just don't buy it if you don't think it's good enough. Definitely not possible to push all the fixes that might come in a big fetch patch before release. Hours played on day one release will dramatically outweigh QA hours. Yes, but a lot of the things that get fixed in day one and day two patches aren't stuff that were only found by the community. Or at least I just don't believe that they are stuff only found by the community. Because they literally occur in, like for example, the Milan leader thing. It occurs in every game. Your biggest problem with is the goddamn saves being corrupted. I mean, there's two things on that. One is you should back up your saves before you update any video game. And you can do that with EU4 very easily. And I'm not saying, this is not like victim blaming. I'm not saying like if you don't do that, you deserve to get your saves corrupted or whatever. I'm just saying like as good practice, you should start doing that. Because if you're tired of it, you can get through it. And secondly, yes, it's really annoying when saves get corrupted. I totally agree. I don't really have a second point. But you should back them up in future so you can avoid being tired again. There's a distinction to be drawn between bugs and gameplay balance and user experience issues. Yeah, things like the native development. It's partly that users don't understand that native development, when natives hold it, development is worth like 10 times less because of how the mechanics around that work. Which is just a kind of user experience problem that people see a high dev number and they go like, oh, that's way too high. But things like in every game you play near Milan, where you have Milan set as special interest, in every game you will see a pop-up that says Milan has a leader that has 9 million admin points. This is not something that you can miss in a single European test game. So that's just not plausible. And if you're doing a proper test game, you should have things like, all pop-ups turned on and stuff like that. Man creates gods amongst men. Is E4 really hard to start playing? No. No, definitely not. I realize there's a slightly slow response to your problem. Your question, by the way, sorry about that. No, it's really not. It takes a bit of time to get used to, but anyone can get into it. And and you should get into it because it's the best game ever made. I don't recommend buying all of the DLC right away. You might want to use the subscription feature they've added. It's like £4 or like $5 a month or something, and you get access to all the DLC. You could try that and then decide which bits you like if you wanted. But the vanilla game with no DLC is good fun as well. So they thought it was a good idea to lock Stonehenge behind pagan religion. They thought it was a good idea to make Stonehenge do anything at all, which was really felt like just a kind of, well, CK2 and Imperator did it. We don't want to be left out. Some issues will genuinely be new. Yes, I agree. Balance issues and things are exactly the kind of thing that can and should be addressed in post-launch patches, and I have no problem with that. It's things like save corruption and crashes that will consistently occur and things like that I think it's important to get, really important to get before release. Some of the mission trees are really bad, yeah. They just don't work if you don't do them in particular order a lot of the time. Same icons, some are missing. Yeah, that's clearly like a, it's not like they didn't finish the trees. That'll definitely be like somehow a bug is making them, or, you know, a badly coded tree is just showing up wrong. I find it extremely hard to believe that they just didn't finish the tree. So many bots trying to sell followers on Twitch. I don't know why you would buy followers on Twitch. It's not like bought followers make you any money. I guess if you have more followers, you can sell yourself to sponsors better. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I mean, not that I do that, obviously, because I don't have any sponsors, as you might have noticed. Yellow Fars? Where is Fars again? Fars ain't yellow. What are you talking about? Do you want me to sponsor you, Christo? You have mods. Oh, it's yellow in vanilla. Okay, fair enough. Do you want me to sponsor you, Christo? But you just show your posters, my posters on stream. I'll take a commission to promote your posters. Yeah, sure. Why not? Give me a tracking link. I don't think you can track all the way to purchase though. With a link, probably not. You'd have to have a distinct poster, which was just the same poster, but only I had the link to it. I'll show Adaway's posters on stream for free. You should all go and buy Adaway's posters. They're like historical infographics, and they're really cool. Adaway, you can link to them if you want. This is a very long episode because I thought to myself I'll do one more episode. And so I'm just not ending it, which I always do at the end of streams that I'm enjoying, which is a good sign, of course. It means I'm enjoying it. But we have now come to the end. The war against Hungary will be concluded in the next episode. Twitch not going just yet, but YouTube, thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode for the glorious conclusion. I will show you the final loot count, at least the final loot count for today, so you're not left hanging. We are currently at, oh baby, about 1,500 ducats. We have lost about 3,000 rural population so far. And the enemy has lost 46,000 rural population and 10,000 urban civilian population, which is actually not that high, to be honest. Oh, no, sorry. Our side of the war has lost 46,000. We have killed 321,000 rural and 80,000 urban. So a total of, what, 532,000 civilian casualties on the enemy side of the war so far. Jesus, that's high. That's a lot of income to get back. A lot of pop that you're going to have to grow back after this Hungary. And we haven't even burnt down your heartland yet. We're still coming for you. Look at that. You can tell where we've been fighting in Europe. It's like the only place, apart from Bohemia, that has any trauma. Excellent. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.